a lot of people are comparing this to Baldur's Gate 3 romances as if it's the creme de la creme. Have you guys played Baldur's Gate 3? Are we talking about the same game? Like, I never felt sexual harassed in an RPG except when I played Baldur's Gate 3, especially when it comes out. Like there's this muscular druid, right? Like, this guy that's like twice my size, and he approaches me, and I'm like, hey, nice weather we're having, right? And he's like, nice smell of boy pussy you have upon you. I want to smash some of that because Larian made me swing that way. What do you say? And I'm like, I'm in a relationship with this elvish lady. I mean, she's not pretty hot, but it's best Larian can do. Nature doesn't care, boyo. I will smash her too, and then I'll smash you in my bear form. Press yes for consent. It's like, no, seriously, that's the dialogue. That's what romance goes for AAA development nowadays. Like, that's pretty much what all of the HR ladies got together and thought that is romantical. Like, for comparison, play any game that came out before 2016. Like, play Baldur's Gate 2, play Mass Effect, play Neverwinter Nights, and compare the romance scenes from those games with the trash that is Baldur's Gate 3, which is literally like hookup culture. Like, no, seriously, I get this demon lady coming up to me, and it's like, nice rod you got there, boyo. I wanna smash it, I wanna ride it, and I wanna break it. Press yes for consent. You know, it's Jesus Christ, like, who wrote these lines? And they actually went on and said, oh yes, we hired actors. Like, we hired actors to do the job, to make the sounds, to make the moaning noises. And it's like, my fucking God, it's disgusting, dude. And I'm the guy that actually advocates for more sexuality into video games. But, like, I want sensuality. I want romance. I don't want that. And I never thought that any game can make it even worse. And I didn't think that there is a game out there that can lower the standard that Baldur's Gate 3 did until I read about Dragon Age. And they say that all of the characters are going to be pansexual, so in this universe there is no such thing as straight anymore. Like, straight people have been erased, right? I keep hearing it's like, oh, they're erasing trans people. It's like, well, I guess the woke must be experts at erasing, because they completely erased heteronormativity from the game. But the problem is, like, have you seen the characters? Like, at least in Baldur's Gate 3, the female options weren't very numerous. And, like, the only one that was, like, remotely resembling some sort of femininity was the Shadow Elf. But, like, other than that, it was very difficult to choose. However, with Dragon Age, the Velguard, like, every single character comes from a California nightmare. So like, even the very idea, even the very notion that some of these NPCs are going to hit on me is turning me off. Like, I wish it had like a mature filter that you can turn on and off just to make sure that the characters keep at arm's length away from me. I think I do have a solution, actually. Don't buy the game. Like, this is the best anti-piracy software that they ever made. It's like, no one wants this game even for free. Like, you would have to pay me money just to get this game. But yeah, so every single character has sex with everyone. It doesn't matter. Now, a lot of people go like, well, why do you care? And I'm like, well, you know, it used to be like part of the game. Like, have you guys played Dragon Age 1? The romance was actually integrated within the game, offered replayability, and in some cases, certain endings were tied to your romance options. So, for instance, Alistair was the king, and if you wanted to romance him, you had to play a female character, which meant you get replayability. You finish the game as a male protagonist, and then you're like, well, what would have happened if I got Alistair to romance me and I became the queen? And you can do that. You start the game again, you replay it as a female character. There's a lot more dialogue options, there's a lot more stuff that you can do. And again, like, one of them is to romance Alistair. And then you realize that once you romance him, it's a lot easier to persuade him to do certain things that you can't do as a guy. So, for instance, there's the murderer of Duncan, and if you persuaded Alistair to marry you, now you can actually convince him to forgive the murderer, and he's an ally in the ending. Like, again, it's part of the actual role playing. You feel immersed in that world. You feel as if you're part of the world, and the game is basically telling you a story. And, you know, playing a female character unlocks more aspects of that story. So, you know, the replayability aspect is there and it's strong. But like, they don't do that anymore. Now, the romance is unironically pornographic. It's just like, which one of these ugly characters do you want to hear some moaning noises coming from? And you just pick a character. It doesn't really matter the race. It doesn't really matter the gender. They're just like, they're interchangeable. And, you know, you just have sex, and that's it. It's like hookup culture, right? It's very queer. Like, there is no more sensuality. There is no more romance. There's no more build-up. For those of you who have played Baldur's Gate, you guys remember Viconia the Veer. Like, there was a lot of build-up and a lot of romance, and you could fuck it up, and if you fucked it up, you lost your chance with her. And again, like, all of this added replayability, added immersion, added all of these things that actually made the game better because it worked alongside the other gameplay mechanics. Now it just doesn't matter. Like for fuck's sakes, you know, there's this phone game, Nikkei, and there are some Nikkeis out there like Soda, which actually do have a romance novel attached to them. And it feels wholesome, it feels immersive, and what you get in the end is just a kiss from her. Like, the game doesn't describe anything else. But just that is a lot better written, a lot more interesting, and a lot more fascinating than any of the romance that you can have with the Baldur's Gate characters. I keep giving as an example Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. You have Aruya Shal, a succubus. Like, she has a very interesting story, a very interesting romance. And again, like it's tied to the main game. If you play it correctly, you can actually help redeem her, and she basically becomes a powerful ally in the end. But if you don't manage to redeem her, then she becomes an evil succubus, and if you play as a chaotic evil character, then she's going to join your squad, and she's going to ally, but like, she's got different abilities now. So like, everything is tied to the game, and it makes you wonder, it's like, what would have happened had I done this? And then you restart the game, you play it again, adds more hours, more immersion. You feel that the money you spent on the game is for a good reason. Now, apparently, that's not important anymore. And I see people on Twitter defending this, saying, oh, well, why should you get locked from certain characters? And it's like, well, because it simulates the real world. Like, don't you guys want realism? You keep going, oh, we want realism, we want realistic women. Well, in reality, some characters happen to be straight. And some characters happen to be gay. So, like, if you fall in love with a person that's gay, well, you're not going to manage to seduce them. It's just how it is. But, like, it exposes the hypocrisy. It's like, yes, we want realism. We want every single female character in the game to have manly jawlines, to be over the age of 45 with no eggs. And we want romance. So we want realism, but not very realistic. Everyone needs to be pansexual now. Like, it's so obvious what they are doing. It is so painfully obvious. And when you call them out, you saw the video that I released previously and you saw how they react. But it's good that people are finally waking up. It's good that people are finally calling out for what this actually is. And there is indeed a backlash, especially on Twitter. And I see it on YouTube as well. And eventually, hopefully, companies will realize that, all right, well, we should stop pandering to these individuals because we're losing money. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.